Hi, Davis community. This is Ms. Campeau, bringing to you a Davis Reads from home. I am really excited to share with you today a book called Pandesal Saves the Day. And this book is a Filipino children's story. So it is written in English as well as being written in Tagalog, which is the language spoken in the Philippines. And it's heavily influenced by Spanish and English. So there are a couple Tagalog words in here that I've done my best to look up how to pronounce, but forgive me if I mispronounce anything. So, Pandesal saves the day. Of all the kids in school, Pandesal felt that she was the unluckiest. She did not like the way she looked. Her skin was too dark. She hated her flat nose. And she found her oblong face weird. Besides, whoever heard of a girl being named Pandesal anyway? How she envied her classmates. There was Croissant with her golden brown skin, tall nose, and curves in all the right places. And there was Danish, who looked so fair and neat, with beauty marks here and there that reminded Pandesal of sweet raisins. Muffin's skin was brown too, but unlike Pandesal's, it had a luster that glowed and made her look so attractive. Many people in school liked Muffin because she was so sweet. Some people thought Donut had a rather odd shape, but it didn't matter because he always impressed people with his rich wardrobe. Sometimes he came to school all in white, much like the frosting on a cake. At other times, Donut wore chocolate-colored outfits or clothes the shade of strawberry milkshake. I'm going to let you see pictures of these kids here and here. Honey bread was popular too. She got her name from her glossy complexion, which was exactly the same shade as honey. Honey often got into sticky situations, but since she was so nice, everyone always forgave her. Her brother, Super Bread, was probably the fairest boy in class and was very smart too. He always had the right answers to everything. Their cousin, Bread Stick, was very tall and slim, and she was sure that she was going to be a famous fashion model one day. All of Pandesal's classmates lived in beautiful homes. Croissant's parents had a lovely chalet on a hilltop with a sweeping view of the countryside from one long end to one long end. Honey and Super Bread lived in a cozy cottage surrounded by a garden of roses, daisies, and sunflowers. Muffin lived in a ranch house with windows framed by pink and white curtains that cascaded all the way down to the hardwood floor. Oh, but Pandesal. Poor me, she thought. Every time she went home to the nipa hut she shared with her parents and younger brothers. Not only that, she also had to walk to school every day, across a rice field, past a river, and up and down the hillsides. At first, her father walked with her to school, but when she learned the way, she had to go alone. After days of doing that, her legs no longer ached, and she even found a secret trail that cut through the meadows and brought her to school much faster. Their nipa hut had bamboo slats for floor and doors made of sawali. Sometimes the cold wind would blow through the flimsy walls so as to keep warm. Pandesal and her brothers would huddle under the blankets that their grandmother had woven for them. On weekends and after school, Pandesal had to do her share of the household chores. She washed all the dishes by hand with water from a pail that her father fetched from a nearby well. To polish the floor, Pandesal and her mother used large leaves plucked from a tree, which removed all the dirt and made the floor look so shiny and bright. And here, I think, is Pandesal with her brothers. Television and radio were way too expensive for them, so for entertainment, the family would sing together in the evenings. Their mother taught Pandesal and her brothers all the songs she had learned as a child, and the family would often gather after supper to hear her sing of immortal love, of the happy life in the countryside, and of an old pair of wooden shoes. Pandesal was gifted with her mother's lovely singing voice. In school, music was her favorite subject, and she would have joined the glee club, except she was too shy to audition. Here's her family singing, and their little hut with hearts and music notes coming out. Neither did Pandesal and her brothers have expensive toys. Instead, they made up their own games. They loved running in the open fields surrounding their nipa hut, climbing up trees, and playing sipa. Pandesal and her brothers had different kinds of sipa at home, which they would make out of old newspapers or brown paper bags. Pandesal's favorite sipa was a dainty pink and white one, which she had made out of the paper buntings left over from the town fiesta. Often, when they finished their chores early, Pandesal and her brothers would play sipa in the backyard. She became so good at it that she could kick the sipa up in the air, all of 100 times, without letting it fall to the ground. And here they are playing. One day the class went on a field trip with their teacher, Miss Flores. The school driver, Mang Baking, drove them to a nature park where they could learn all about the trees, flowers, and insects. There they saw all kinds of fruit trees like mango and star apple, flowering plants like rosal and sampaguita, as well as colorful dragonflies, butterflies, ladybugs, and grasshoppers. Pandesal knew most of these creatures because they were plentiful in the fields where she and her brothers played on weekends. Eek! Croissant shrieked when a wriggling insect landed on her. Don't be afraid, Pandesal said. It's only a dragonfly. Look, I can even catch it, and it won't bite. Pandesal closed her thumb and forefinger on the dragonfly's wings and held it up for Croissant to see. I want you to see her doing that. So there we have Croissant. Notice her hair kind of looks like croissants too. Funny. And here's the school bus on their way to go and explore. Gross, Croissant said as she looked away. But by this time, Superbread and Donut had joined them and were fascinated by the dragonfly. Wow, you're brave, said Superbread, and Pandesal felt strangely proud of herself, though it was really no big deal. Why, one time she had even caught a whole army of dragonflies, which she kept in a bottle before setting them free. When it was time for lunch, they all sat down on the picnic grounds and opened their lunch boxes. Out came the hamburgers and french fries, the spaghetti, fried chicken and pizza, all neatly wrapped in aluminum foil. Croissant had a cheese soufflé, while Breadstick brought fettuccine with cream sauce. Suddenly, Pandesal felt ashamed of her brown paper bag. In it, she had rice, fish broiled in tomatoes and onions, and chicken adobo, all wrapped in banana leaves. Her mother had made sure Pandesal brought plenty of food so she could share them with her classmates, and her brothers had tucked in some bananas, which they had picked from the tree in their backyard. Pandesal loved this food, but compared to those of her classmates, the rice and the fish and the adobo and the bananas suddenly looked so humble. Here's a picture of all the kids chowing down on their food.